Hey, welcome everybody. It is Tuesday night, and this is the NGSC Sports Weekly, the NBA show. I'm your host, Rob Garcia, of course, joined by my co-host, as always, NGSC Sports NBA writer, Mr. Jordan Rio. What's up, Jay?
What's going on, Ralph? Happy to be here.
How was your summer, my brother?
It was a long one. And you know what? The off season helped.
Yeah, it was a long one for me. I'm all broken down. I'm gonna have to have back surgery again. I got cancer, prostate cancer. No, I'm good. Bro, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna outlive your ass. What you talking about?
All right.
But yeah, it's the off season. Anyway, first and foremost, of course, everybody, please remember the website. It is NGSC Sports. There's Louis Tenor asking me about an invite. If he's gonna ask me, I'm certainly not going to turn him down. Uh, let's get him in here. NGSCSports.com, where you catch all of your current content. If you log on to the website right now, remember, of course, this is the time of year that NGSC Sports has a bunch of people across uh, press boxes across the country, football season, college football. John as well, college hockey. He's got Merrimack College Hockey. He was up in Merrimack, up 20 minutes away from him. But he covered Merrimack hockey this weekend as they swept St. Lawrence. Brian Estrada, our NFL writer, gives us has Tua finally silenced the Herbert critics? Good question. Gabby Hurlbutt gives us USF rallies for tight road win over UConn. We cover USF and UConn, but since they played in UConn, and Gabby's our writer in UConn, you figure out the rest. Uh, anyway, all that and more on ngscsports.com, where we never stop. Please like us on Facebook at NGSC Sports. Twitter, I'm not calling it X, at NGSC Sports. And YouTube, at NGSC Sports. You figured it out. Like us on YouTube. Give us a follow on YouTube as well. We appreciate all the love and support. So, you know, with all of that, I come back over here to this side to see if
I'm here.
Louis, this is a basketball show. Did you know that?
Really? Gee, I never guessed.
And you know what, Louis?
You still hate the Yankees anyway, even though it's basketball.
I hate the damn Yankees. I don't give a damn what kind of show we. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I see somebody here. I know that brother right
How do
there.
I?
Oh yeah. That's that. That's that dude from Merrimack.
That
That's
guy.
the dude from Merrimack. That's Nasser Kiraga. That's Nas Around the World, Volume 1, 2, 3, etc., etc.
We're five.
Nasser Kiraga in the house. What's up, Nasser?
Pleasure to be here. How we doing, guys? What's up?
Man, good to see you, my brother. Good to see you. First of all, hey Nas, how was your summer, man?
Someone's good. Someone's good.
It
How
was
about you?
good. I'm getting old, so don't worry about that. I'm getting old. I'm broken down. We ain't even gonna go into that. But
Age, age has nothing to do in the summer. You can enjoy summer at age you need.
no, you don't understand. But it's okay because we're,
Right.
we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about the good stuff real quick. Hey, Nasser, do you remember when not too long ago for you? You really didn't have no responsibilities and just get up in the morning, and go to school, like high school, and kind of go along your day. Now you're a grown man. You got to do things on your own, make decisions. You waited for this moment your whole life.
Yeah,
Is being grown all it's cracked up to be?
I mean, it was all hype for sure, but I mean,
Yeah, right.
Right.
Exactly.
it,
Exactly. Right. Because
Yeah.
What I wouldn't give to go walking through my mama's door 45 years ago, knowing that my little bowl was on the stove. That was my dinner. She done clean, cook, clean, put everything up except my little bowl with my food waiting for me. Anyway,
Yeah.
yo, hold on. I gotta get this guy to do it. I'm doing the show, man. Y'all gotta go now. Goodbye. Who's this Louis Tano guy? Uh Basketball, man. Basketball. Basketball's back. Basketball's back tonight. The NBA 2024 season is here. Uh, Congratulations again to the defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets tonight. They will receive their rings as they open against the Lakers. That'll be happening here in just a little bit.
Mhm.
Hell of a season for Denver. Let's just put it this way. We already know what they got, what they brought to the table. We didn't come here to talk 2022, 2023.
No.
What I wanted to ask, since Nas is in the house, Nasa, you know what? So we wait. We know that when April turns into May, May turns into June, the NBA season is winding down. Here's the playoffs. We're going to name an NBA champion. A champion is named. We kind of like, all right, season's over. Let me think. My team won the title or they didn't. What happened? And then we go off into the summer.
Yeah.
Then we come back. But while we were gone, shit kept happening in the NBA. I mean, there were stories we were talking about last year, wondering, and some of them broke this year.
Yep.
And what I want to do, by the way, let me put this up. We are now, of course, on StreamYard. Gives us a little more capabilities here. Nas, before I ask you, Nas, what I want to do, guys, uh, I'm going to shut up in a second. I know y'all find that hard to believe, so do I. But I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let you guys talk because I talk so damn much. I just want to break. So what I'm going to do right now is go to Nasa Kadaga and say, Nasa, as the summer went on, tell me about the stories, the trades, the moves, the things that happened, your reaction, what you were thinking, and now all of a sudden, here we go.
So to bring it off, I feel like we can all agree that the NBA, whether it's your favorite sport or not, I think we can all agree that it's off season. The NBA off season is arguably just as entertaining as other sports, MLB, soccer, other sports, football. Off season itself is sport. So every summer, you all going into this, you have to look for X amount of stars that are unhappy, disgruntled guys that have been looking for an opportunity to either get more money or be traded here. And in this player empowerment era, guys are not gonna wait until their contract is up to tell the GM or the owner or the head coach that, hey, I'm unhappy, leave. They're doing it 2 years left on the deal. They're doing it 3 years left on the deal. Kevin Durant last year, and he had I think 3 years left on his contract that he just signed the previous year. So going into the summer, you have to look out for that as an NBA fan. With that being stated, I can't sit here and act like I knew Bradley Beal was going to go to the Suns, Damian Doll was going to be a Milwaukee Buck, Drew Holiday was going to be a Boston Celtic. That it feels like it hasn't even been a month yet. So you gotta be able to just take that with a grain of salt. You gotta be very, very dubious that something is gonna happen. You don't know how many bombs are gonna happen, but they're gonna. But to ask if I was to really give you my biggest splash, I think what I just said a second ago, Drew Holiday going to the Celtics, I believe was the biggest splash of the offseason. His name is not gonna sell, but when he's on your television, watch him play on both ends of the court, his name will sell. He's champion. The Celtics, they've been in search of a point guard. tried work, tried Kyrie, didn't work. Kemba broke, that didn't work. The agent departed Marcus Smart, which I ultimately didn't even think they needed to do, but they were so desperate to find a lead guard that they did that. But this has to be the most exciting and seamlessly fit core in the NBA. They have shooting, they can defend 1 through 4. They have 2 all NBA.
Yeah.
Derek Wright, that's going to leave pressure from Jaylen Brown. Jrue Holiday's a champion. He's the guy that took out Chris Paul. Very acquiring Jrue Holiday really, but because I personally wasn't sold on Chris Paul. Up until the Jrue Holiday, the Celtics were not. They weren't. 100% honest.
Jay.
Yo,
Jay. So I'm gonna go under a couple of assumptions here.
Mhm.
Assumption on my end and on the people in Milwaukee. I know I got up when I heard Dame went to Milwaukee. I know I got up and said, "What the just happened? Hold on." I mean, I was like, I'm trying to get my day out, and I know that the people in Milwaukee was like, "Hold up, what?" I got one friend of mine who's lived in Milwaukee, grew up in the projects in the Bronx. He left when we were like little kids. His family moved away to some damn place called Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They've been there ever since. And he said he got up and he was looking around and he kept wondering, like, was he asleep? Was he having a dream? So he was trying to get himself out of a dream, which wasn't a dream, that
Right.
Damian Lillard was now in Milwaukee. And then, as Nasser was talking, Bradley Beal, when you think of who could have gone to Phoenix to complement what they have and what they're trying to do,
Yeah.
all the names that you could have, I ain't gonna lie, me, of all the names that I could have come up with, and I ain't saying I could have come up with a lot, Bradley Beal was not going to be one of those names.
No.
And yet, when you look at the move, you're looking like, you know what? If you talk about a compliment right there, that's a compliment right there. Because I always been wondering about Bradley Beal. The boy can hoop. The boy can hoop, but it's like it ain't going nowhere. He got to go someplace. Yo, Jay, man, it was a hell of an offseason. Dollar Dame shirts in Miami will not be going on sale.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. I think it was maybe 48 hours before that trade where people really started talking about Milwaukee being a serious contender for Dame. But honestly, that's a worst case scenario for a lot of teams. In the East. Obviously Miami was linked to Dame more than any other team. A lot of teams were kind of rumored to be interested in Giannis if he continued to get unhappy, if there was a little bit of disarray within the Milwaukee franchise. But I mean, you couldn't pair a better superstar with Giannis. Now, yesterday he signed that 3-year extension, so I mean they're going to be one of the scariest duos in the East. That's for sure.
Hey, what is that? $62 million a year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty serious.
Oh, hey,
Let's see who they can afford the next couple of years with all that money.
You know what I'm saying? You should have been.
Right.
You should have been an agent, Nasser. You should have been an
Right.
agent. Nasser would have made a good agent.
We'll see what happens. We'll see.
60. Yeah, I know. 3 years, $186 million. So I looked at it again, right? I said, yeah, that shit is. It's right. I thought it was a typo. Or maybe because I'm old. I got glasses.
I mean, Jordan's right. They're gonna be probably the most dominant superstar duo. If you just try to take just two guys from anywhere in the league, those two guys are gonna be the most dominant. But the question is, how are the rest of the guys gonna fit around them? Is Chris Middleton gonna hold up? His health wise. he comes back. He just had surgery. So new coach, no infrastructure. Speaking of the Bucks, didn't Terry Stotts? He just oddly stepped down. I don't know if you guys saw that. If you guys put the together, Terry Stotts coach Portland with Dame. Dame comes over. I don't want to make it like anti-Dame, but Dame comes over, and then last week I'm pretty sure Terry Stotts just resigned. Like this is who's the head coach. I just think it's a little interesting the kind of what's going on. I found that particular piece funny though.
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny because you thought all along. I believed all along he was going to force that trade to Miami. He was going to force that trade. It was going to happen. It was going to happen. It was going. Anyway, yeah. Louis. Listen, Louis. Damn, I hate them damn Yankees, Louis.
I know.
I can't help when I look at you, Louis. I appreciate you, by the way. I appreciate having someone that I could look at to remind me of the pure hatred that I have for the New York Yankees. I do appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
No, it's a compliment. It's really a compliment. I appreciate that, Louis.
Thanks.
Hate them sons of bitches. Anyway, Louis,
yes.
23-24 NBA season, Louis. I know where you and I are going to go later on. We're going to do a little teams and stuff. But
yes.
You see what happened in the offseason, Louis, and no, there were no trades in the NBA involving
the Knicks,
the New York Yankees.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it's the offseason will soon be here, and so maybe they'll come up with something by then. I know that just irks you, but
Louis, basketball, Louis.
Yeah.
Not the Yankees, Louis. Come on.
Yeah. Okay.
I know. I brought them up.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do see the Bucks, doing the serious damage with ease, especially with the Greek Freaks contract and the recent addition. So once again, looks like the Bucks are going to rule the East with Boston a close second, which just sickens me.
Are they going to rule the East? Are they going to rule the East? And Nasser, you were talking about they're going to be dominant, that 1-2 punch there?
The 1-2 punch is going to be dominant. I have some questions about their perimeter defense. I think the Drew Holiday void was it's huge. I mean, Giannis is arguably the best defensive player in the league. Brook Lopez was a very high-level impactful defensive player last year, especially at the rim, playing passing lanes, just being that interior, brick inside. But they're going to miss a lot of that interior, that interior force. I mean, who's going to guard Trae Young on that team? Yeah. Who's going to guard Devin Booker when he comes to town? Who's going to go guard Steph Curry around screens? It's not going to be Giannis. I know that. So
the answer is nobody, actually.
Yeah. So
Greatest that's the problem.
That's a good point right there, and it goes to show that as eye-opening as the trade was, and still, adjusting to watching Dame in Milwaukee in a Milwaukee jersey, and that's going to take a minute. But just because you have this 1-2 firepower, it means nothing if you can't stop the other guys. It means nothing. I tell you what I do like. I don't know, maybe it's just me, Jay, but I like the Boston Celtics. Nasser was just talking, Drew Holiday, when it comes to defense, I mean, that the boy's a gnat. I mean, he's a gnat. Right, he's a gnat. He's just a gnat. And that's a big loss for Milwaukee, a huge gain for Boston. And still trying to figure out, I got excited when the Knicks drafted Kristaps Porzingis, but it hasn't panned out, I guess you could say. But why is it that when I see Kristaps in a Boston Celtics uniform, it fits? It fits.
That's a really good question. Starting with Drew, like Nasser said earlier, great interior defender, one of the best defending guards in the league, obviously. When Boston traded Marcus Smart to Memphis, a lot of people were kind of surprised by that, but they couldn't have added a better defender than Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
And obviously adding Kristaps Porzingis, a really underrated player at this point. Like you mentioned, the New York years, they weren't terrific. Dallas wasn't terrific. Washington was okay.
Right.
Now you're pairing him with, one of the best duos in the league, a duo that's been around for, probably about 5 years now.
Yeah.
So I think they're probably going to be the best team in the East just because of that continuity with Boston or Milwaukee closely behind them. But we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Oh, by the way, in case you missed it, Jaylen Brown got paid.
Oh, he got money.
He's got the money.
I know NASA he's had a busy summer, but I wasn't sure if he missed it. NASA, I wasn't sure if you missed it, but Jaylen Brown got paid, dude.
How much you get paid?
Man, he got paid a lot of money.
A lot, huh?
He got paid a lot of money.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
What do you get? Like 300 what?
I think,
I think it was like just over 300 million, I think.
yeah, literally just.
Yeah, that fits about right.
It's not his fault.
They're
I
gazillion.
feel like we should just clear that out. I mean, the guy got drafted there. It's not like someone put a gun to his head. He got drafted there. He did time. He played high quality basketball. He hit the benchmarks, and then he just happened to be an All NBA second team guy last year. And the guy got paid. You're not going to let him go. And if you're going to let him go, how are you going to replace him? That's what I always asked. Like whoever had a question is like, oh, Jaylen Brown, you give him all this money. Well, it's like it's not his fault. The salary cap moved the way it did. That's not his fault. You want to blame anyone? Blame his parents. You're going to blame him for what?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
But you got to blame somebody.
That's good. No, but when you go back to when Louis and I started watching basketball, it was always the great players and only the great players that got paid. Nothing like this, obviously, of course. But that's a great point, Nasser, because that would be one of the first things. It's one of the first things a lot of people ask. It's not to question Brown's abilities. He's already proven he's a premier NBA scorer, player. He's already proven that point. It's the fact that you just don't equate him with a $300 million contract. And so a lot of people gonna be like, well, why? Well, wait a minute, hold on. How come my boy and this other dude? And that was a great explanation. I love the end of it. If you want to blame anybody, blame his parents. They could have used birth control, but they didn't. So this is what they had happen.
Or just picked a different time frame,
Also picked a different time frame, but they didn't. And this is how. But that's a great point, Nacho, because this is just the way it falls. It's just the way it falls.
And I'm just saying, as a Celtics fan, you got to pay him. You got to pay the man. He did his time.
Yeah.
Or you're just gambling on the hope that we overcome the hump.
Oh yeah, no. Like you were intimating earlier, you can't. Well, you know what? Never mind, Jalen. Now we're gonna let you go. You can't do that. You can't do that. No, you cannot do that. So you don't have much of a choice. But I like that setup, and like you said, Jay, replacing or losing Smart, but getting Drew Holiday. Let me tell you, that's going to be a hell of a pickup later in the season. That's going to be Holiday stays healthy. That's going to be a hell of a pickup, boy, for Boston come April and May.
Right. I think that's one key thing between Boston and Milwaukee. Boston has a lot of depth. Milwaukee, maybe 6-7 guys, but that's really about it. But in the playoffs, that's when that depth's really going to come into play.
Hey, only because I couldn't help myself. Hold up. Only because I couldn't help myself. Ben Simmons. So one of the things that I've always marveled at in my life in sports is bus. Be they a major bust, a minor bust, someone who hasn't panned out, whatever. When I heard about Ben Simmons coming to the NBA, hey, I was like, wow, really? Yeah. That,
Yeah.
that boy gonna be serious, right? Okay, cool.
There was
But
nothing.
what right, what it isn't so much questioning his skills, understand something. When you, in this case, basketball, when you are one of five men against five others, and really, what's their sole purpose? They want to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't punch you in the face in basketball. I can't knock your ass to the ground. I can't kick you, but I'm damn sure do everything I can as close to it as I can to wear your ass out and beat you. That's for damn sure.
Right.
So like, you got to have heart. You got to have heart to play in professional sports. You really do.
Sure. And talent.
Yeah, you got to have talent, but you got to have heart. And boy,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yo, Nasa, man, it's like Ben Simmons is forever gonna be haunted by that one moment in time where
Yep.
things fell apart, fam.
I hate to break it to you guys. I really do.
No, we want you to break it to us. That's why you're here. That's why you're here.
I'm actually I feel like I've been a Ben Simmons truther past 2-3 years. Whatever went down in Philadelphia, I'll first off say this: whatever went down in Philadelphia and the lack of aggression, and then the unprofessionalism and the not going to practice, I was not with any of that. But when the Brooklyn Nets got Ben Simmons, I didn't want to use that picture of Ben Simmons and let it dictate my actual opinion of what type of player he is. Then you take that into account. His back was hurt. He had back surgery. He literally had back surgery. People think that if you spend a year away from basketball, if you spend a year from anything, it doesn't matter what profession, what craft, if you spend a year away from it, it's going to take you a while to be where you were the year before. So Ben Simmons not playing basketball and the back surgery, I didn't think people should be that naive and expect him to be this all-star player that we once saw him in Philadelphia. That was not going to be the case. But I don't know if you're watching, but this summer, his body is back to 100%. He's been outspoken. He said that he's right physically, mentally in a very long time. He's shown some flashes in preseason. He's been playing fairly well. I actually think this Brooklyn Nets team is going to be one of the formidable defenses in this league. And I think Ben Simmons is going to be one of the reasons why. I think him, Mikal Bridges, I think they're going to be one of the best defensive wings this league has seen in a while. Mikal Bridges was doing a lot of the dirty work alongside Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. He was the guy that was kind of most of that defense. You have Nick Claxton, who was an All-NBA defender for most of last year, if not all year, but lost a lot of that, fan vote. I don't know if it was because of the post-Kyrie KD situation that no one wanted to even say anything positive about a Brooklyn Net, but you have him. He's an outstanding defensive player. I just like the pieces around Ben Simmons. Returning back to point guard. I just it looks like he's ready to be a professional.
I hope so, Jay. He's fun to watch. He's fun to watch when he is.
Yeah, obviously, like you mentioned, when he was, coming into the league, there were very high expectations for him. I think there were some media personalities calling him like the next LeBron. Obviously, he's going to be nowhere near that.
No.
Obviously, after Philadelphia, he's probably not even going to be what he was before. But he's at the point where I think he's got a year or two left on his contract, big money deal. But, if he kept sitting out, he'd be done in the league. So it's good to see him back on the court. Obviously, he's not what he was before. But with what Brooklyn has right now, he's a good fit. And if he can just continue to grow and not let that, let him, his mental game, be affected like it was in Philadelphia, I think Brooklyn will have a productive season. I don't think they're going to be top 6, but I could see them making the plan. but overall, I think Brooklyn has something special. A couple years away, but there's someone to watch.
How's the feel up there, Louis? How's the feel up there for Brooklyn?
Yeah. Well, he did a lot of work, and of course, with all the what happened last season with Kyrie or maybe Ben Simmons, they gotta get past that. They still have a way to go, but I think they can make a decent run of the Eastern Conference. I mean, are they gonna make it to the Eastern Conference Finals? No, that's still like a few years away, but I think there'll be an improvement from like over the past couple of years.
And by the way, if I haven't
Just that first round jinx.
I think a lot of teams are going to want to face them. I don't know. I feel like if they're right, and then there's something about the age timeline too. I feel like a lot of those guys are similar in age. I just feel like,
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a special bond amongst them. They all like. If you look at all the guys there, Cam Johnson, Dennis Smith Jr., who's been quit on by a couple teams. You got Ben Simmons, who's quit on, basically by everyone else. Regardless of what you think, if he brought that on himself. You just got a lot of guys. Then you got Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, guys who were traded away from Phoenix. We got a lot of guys that got a chip on their shoulder. A lot of guys that feel like they have something to prove. And I feel like there's just something inside the locker room, and I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like there's an aura there that I feel like they're all going to kind of rally around each other.
Oh, by the way, if I could help it, we will not be talking NBA in-season tournament this year. I don't know what the hell that is. I ain't got not. So, what's your take on that bullshit? I mean, that in-season tournament.
In-season tournament. I think personally, I think it's a money grab. I think they're sick of the load management. They're sick of the guys sitting out. They're trying to make the game in a way more fun, but more incentivize it a little bit more. I think they took a page out of the soccer book. Obviously, we know the Champions League and UEFA and the Super Cup, FA Cup. Soccer, especially Europe, they have so many inter tournaments where we got club teams facing each other. So I think, and it's good because basketball over the past 5 to 10 years, we're kind of seeing it grow on a global standard, global landscape. So I think in order for basketball to really embrace that we're a global sport, they want to take some tactics away from sports that are actually globally embraced soccer. So I think it's going to be good. I'm not gonna listen. I love the NCAA tournament, March Madness. If this is the sense of March Madness, I'm going to get from guys who are more talented playing at a higher level that are getting paid. Why not? If it's going to make the guys.
They do this in the college game too. I mean, they have the preseason NIT and whatnot and all that stuff. But the pros is a little bit different though.
Yeah, Big Ten ACC challenge. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It'll be really. It's gonna be interesting. I know, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say one thing. It's when the play-in tournament was announced. I think it was back for the 1920 season. A lot of people were hesitant about it. Everyone was like, "What's the point? It's a waste of time. It's just a cash grab." But the play-in tournament's become one of the most exciting parts of the end of the season. You know? And I mean, look at Miami. Miami was the 7th seed this past season, lost, beat the 10th seed Bulls, and then went all the way to the finals.
Yes.
It's not guaranteed that that'll happen every year, but there can definitely be some excitement out of it. And with this in-season tournament, it's a cash grab. Yeah, it's just trying to get more eyes on the game. But maybe they can incentivize it better. I believe they mentioned maybe money or something like that, but maybe a top 4 seed guaranteed if you win, something like that. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Jay. For sure. Mm-hmm. They got to improve it. I mean, it's basketball. 82 games is a long season. I don't think people understand. 82 games is a long season. A lot of these guys, they sit out because it's not easy. It just, it's not easy. And I know they didn't complain before, but listen, man. The way the money is being generated, you gotta pay the guys, man. You gotta pay the guys.
Yeah, you do.
You gotta put something at the end for them.
Yeah, like $62 million a year. Yeah. I know. Damn.
Hey,
we'll see. we'll see how it goes. It is a money grab.
Right.
Of course, it's a money grab. But we'll see how it goes. Want to add excitement, and I like the way that Nacho was, his take on it. Something new, something exciting, high level of play. If you love the game of basketball, why wouldn't you love that if it's done correctly?
Sure.
Yeah, so why wouldn't you love it?
Try to have that.
It's going to be interesting. We're going to come on. I don't know if we'll come on every week. I don't know if I can hang out with you guys for 6 months or whatever it is every damn week. But we'll figure out the scheduling part. But we are going to continue to come back and talk basketball during the year. It's a long season, like Nasa said, and it's true. The number 82 is not such a big number per se. But when you're playing 82 games in an NBA season, and then you have to have the grind of the NBA playoffs.
It ain't long until you're doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, and then you're going to play in Team USA. Like, man, that's nothing. You
Yeah,
guys
the Olympics.
here,
Yeah.
21, Devin Booker, Drew Holiday, they played the 21 finals. Right after the finals ended, they flew and went to play in the Olympics. That's absurdity. Luka Doncic doesn't take days off. He goes back to Slovenia and plays basketball with his.
Yeah.
Some guys don't take days off.
They really don't.
That's for the pure love of the game, though. The pride of the country. Well,
That's that's love of the game. That's love of the game.
that is the love of the game.
So what I want to do before we finish it off with the opening games tonight,
Yeah.
I want to make sure to go around, and I don't want to miss anything that you guys wanted to talk about, bring up, what you saw, what you're looking at. Nasha, what's on your mind?
My mind, I know I got into my Brooklyn Nets. I guess I'll start.
James Harden. What's up with your boy James Harden?
Oh boy.
Damn.
James Harden. I'm disappointed. James Harden.
Aren't we all?
I've been James Harden is another one of those NBA legends that I feel like I've been a truthist for. That I feel like I tell the truth on. But at this point, it's like there's just a level of professionalism as an athlete that you just need to hold. And I know we're not in the Philly locker room. I'm not saying that Daryl Morey didn't lie to him. I'm not saying James Harden has no reason to be mad, but there is a degree of pride that you have to have. There is a certain respect that you owe your teammates, the organization, people outside of just Daryl Morey. But this thing with being a GM is, I think, James Harden wraps his head around is that when he becomes disgruntled or pissed off at these GMs, he tends to throw the organization under the GM umbrella. But it's like, listen, not everyone in the organization may feel this way. This is just Daryl Morey. If he did you wrong, and that's only if he did you wrong. We don't even know if he did or not. So seeing that this has become a pattern every stop he goes, it's tough. You try to separate James Harden, the great player, the player that I saw look like an MVP candidate when he was on the Nets before he left, the James Harden that, pushed the KD Steph Curry dubs to the brink numerous times. That's the James Harden we love. That's the James Harden we could talk endlessly about. But there's also the James Harden that, talk about the getting out of shape, the money, staying out, the Houston, the clubs. There's that side James Harden that, that'll just always have a question mark on. So I don't know. You gotta take what you can get. We just tried. We tried. Let's just see how it unfolds.
No, you're right. It's we all joke, we all play. We all have to. We have jobs, professions, families. It's a certain place and time for the way you behave yourself and you approach your situation. And you look at James Harden. I've watched James Harden. Sometimes watching him on the court, it was like, how could you be this good? Like, how could you be this good?
Yeah.
And then you ask the same question, how could you be so stupid? It's like, he can't help himself. Not that you said it. You said it. It's like everywhere he goes, as soon as he's unhappy, everybody gets thrown under the bus, starting with the GM. And he's going to go down in history as one of the greatest talents in sports, all sports, to never win. And I don't know about James Harden. Me, I don't want to go out like that. I mean, I personally,
I wouldn't either.
I'm just saying, it's not all about self accolades, but as a man that holds your head up high with pride to put in a hard day's work, a hard week's work, 40 hours or whatever it may be, I can't find myself feeling happy to walk around saying, "Hi, my name's James Harden. I'm 77 years old, and I know that I'm known as one of the greatest professional athletes to never win, and mainly because it's my own damn fault." It's just,
Well, it is.
you want to see the brother win. You know what I'm saying? You want to see the brother. You want to see him do good, but man,
I know.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame, man. Trying to get a ring,
you don't help your damn cause whatsoever. Nice. Something else we haven't talked about. You wanted to cover? Have we covered it? Look. I keep remembering. Look, hold up, wait. I keep interrupting you. Perfect. And every time I ask you the question, I think of something else, right?
Yeah.
I think of something else. How can we not? How can we not say this name? Ja.
Morant.
Ja. Yeah, 25 games. It's a lot of time, man. 25 games is a lot of games. Like that's like what, 2.5 months of basketball. So I think
Season.
Marcus Smart. I like the fill-in. I think it's gonna take a little bit for them to be, to kind of hit their stride, not because of suspension, but Marcus Smart was a Celtic the past decade. This is the first time he's kind of out of his comfort zone. But I do like the upside is I like what he can bring defensively alongside Jaren Jackson. He's a vet, great voice. Derrick Rose, another vet. I think those guys are going to be big time for Ja. I have high expectations for Ja. I think that those two together, those two voices, their experience. Derrick Rose has his own experience with fame. Then a lot of the comparisons and contrasts of their play styles and their games. Rose being back in Memphis, the Memphis reunion. I don't think Memphis is going to be this. I think Memphis is going to be a good story, but I think it's going to take some time.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel like they're going to be a middle of the road Memphis. But yeah, I have high expectations for John. I think he's going to come out like a butterfly and he's going to be loved again. I think he's did his time. It's stunk that he has to come to this point because he's one of the most exciting players to play. But it is what it is. I think Memphis is still going to be okay. Desmond Bain too. I saw a prominent score. I think well for them if they want to stay in the West.
But we know how Jay. We know how dependent this Memphis team is on. It's not just the scoring, the aura. What Ja Morant brings on that basketball court with his teammates, the energy that he brings. So that boy has been nothing but low to energy his whole basketball life. 25 games, like Nasa said, that's a lot of games to miss. And then by the time he comes back, as got to play himself back into game shape. I don't care who you are, you got to play yourself back.
Right.
But
go ahead.
Another guy who shot himself in the foot, man.
Yeah.
Almost literally.
And obviously they're missing some pieces. Steven Adams, I don't know if anybody else heard, he's out for the season.
Oh,
so that's going to be a big loss for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And, there's really questions now of, who's going to be at that 5 spot? Are they going to have to move Jaren Jackson Jr. to the 5? Are they going to find someone else to put at the 5? But, that's going to be a big issue. I think that they'll be a good team even without Ja. I don't think they'll be great. But, they're probably going to end up being maybe 6, 7 seed at worst. I don't think they'll go any higher than 4. It's there's a lot of questions there, and obviously a lot of questions in the rest of the West, but they still have a really solid team.
Now it's going to be a hell of a climb, Louis. From Memphis.
Yeah.
Till Ja gets back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you said, probably no higher than the 4th seed. But I don't think they're gonna. They'll make it. They'll make the postseason for sure. But with Steven Adams out, that is a bit of a blow. Because he is the anchor for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, that's a blow.
He is
That's
the
a
anchor.
blow.
Big blow. A lot of those Ja drives come off those screens.
Yeah.
From Adams. Yeah.
Well, if we're running out 25 games, I mean that's going to make it even worse.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have some obstacles to overcome. So it's gonna be a difficult year for Grizzlies.
Look, it's gonna work again.
I think
So now,
FanDuel had the win over under was I think at like 43.5. After that, Steven, I don't even think I like the over on that.
No.
I would
at all.
By the way, it's still working because I was getting ready to say, all right, so let's get back to, hey, Nasser. And then I said, oh, shit, I got another one. Hold up. I got another one. I need a drink for this boy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Jay, who am I talking about, Jay?
Zion Williamson.
Okay. Another blunder.
Look.
Oh man.
They say he's healthy. We'll have to see what happens. That's all I'm saying.
Mr. Zion Williamson. Yeah, I'm with Jay. They're an interesting team. They should be so much better than what they are. Like I like Willie Green. I like Brandon Ingram. He played very well in the 2021 playoffs. It's kind of like an afterthought at Team USA, but I didn't want to like look into it because Team USA, all these guys are talents. They're all the number ones on their team. Now you're grouping them together. Ingram has to now play kind of he has to play a play style he's not even accustomed. Like this 3-and-D stretch guy that plays D. He's a guy that has the ball in his hands a lot. He's a really above level playmaker. I honestly think the team should run through Ingram more than it should run through Zion. I felt this way the past 2 years. Just because Zion is such a force, he's going to get his numbers regardless where you put him. I think Ingram is a guy that just needs a lot of flow, a lot of rhythm. I think their offense is a lot more easier with the ball in his hands. Plus, he's so tall, like he can just steal the floor and facilitate and just others. I think they just need to play. And McCollum. McCollum also has been an injury low guy past couple years. As long as that team is just healthy, they got that Alvarado kid. They took that shooter from UConn. If they just have their pieces, Herb Jones, I think they're going to be fine. But like Jordan said, we just got to see it. Like it's just if they're healthy.
Yeah, real quick. If Zion can play, let's say 45 games, I think that's a reasonable amount compared to the games he's played in the league so far.
Reasonable. No, man, he better play 65, 70.
Come on, let's be real. He's not playing 65. Okay, he's never playing more than 60.
I'll sell for 50.
We'll see.
50's fair. 50's fair. If he can play 50 games and New Orleans can play how they did last season, don't forget, they were tied for first when Zion was there.
Yeah.
So even in a stacked Western Conference, they may have a chance with a healthy Zion. That's legitimately
Hold on. I'm lost. Hold on. Ain't there 82 games in the NBA season?
Yeah.
So how I sound stupid asking him to play 65 games? I'm just saying. He's getting paid. He's getting paid for 82.
I agree. I'm telling you now, though, half the superstars in the league, they're not playing 65 games. LeBron's not playing 65 games. AD's not playing 65 games. Kawhi and PG aren't.
Louis, this is not our NBA anymore.
No, it isn't.
It is not our the sissification of sports. I think is now complete. Anyway, I was gonna say, check this out. I was gonna say, yo, Nasser, and then. Oh, shit, hit me again. It hit me again. And look, seriously, it keeps hitting me.
Yeah, you got me.
Louis.
Yeah.
Victor Wembanyama. Is that his name? Wembanyama.
Yes.
Victor Wembanyama.
The big string bean. What do you think?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we see how these top overall draft picks have done before. Some have shown to be good. Some have been a piece of trash. So I mean, Wembanyama, he had a rough start. With the summer league, it's kind of inconsistent, but he has picked up in the preseason. Jury, I think, is still out on him though. But we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Oh yeah, not he couldn't find out about the NBA.
Victor Wembanyama, I'm a big fan. I don't know if you guys have been seeing the preseason highlights. His most recent game against the Warriors, it was remarkable. The things he was doing, the moves in the half court, it was amazing. I was.
Yeah, but that was preseason though. Now it's when the real season starts.
I mean, listen, man. Listen, this is a guy who's playing professional basketball. This isn't a guy that's just coming. I mean, he's coming into the NBA, but this is a real. I'm telling you, he's gonna be a real impactful player from day one. Like the worst version of Victor Wembanyama is still gonna be a high value guy. Like I like he's under the Coach Popovich, coaching tree. He's the perfect coach that you'd want. A young rookie guy, international guy, especially with his history with Tony and Manu, another international guy that he can take under his wing, show him everything. He's going to give him so much game to soak in. I think Wembanyama is going to be a star. And honestly, I was a big Wembanyama guy going into the preseason, going into the draft. I was kind of dubious on him. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to adapt, creating the half court. I didn't know if his quick twitchy moves. I didn't know if he had it, but I think I've seen enough to I'm a believer. I expect big things. I'm expecting a rookie of the year. If he doesn't get rookie of the year, then he's a failure.
He is projected to win that, yes.
Yeah, he needs to be a lock. He needs to get that.
Well, gentlemen, it is night number 1.
Yeah.
2023-24 NBA season is underway, by the way. It is underway in Denver, Colorado.
Yep.
Just under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and the Denver Nuggets have a 29-18 lead over the Los Angeles Lakers. Of course, those are the defending NBA champions. Denver Nuggets, we know what they bring back, Jay. And first of all, when you bring back the Joker, that's the Joker a year stronger, a year wiser, a year better, with a championship under his belt. I don't know about any favorites to win. Rather, Denver is a favorite to win. Mike Birdmonger says the modern NBA is soft enough for Wembanyama to come in and play well from the jump. Heard?
Yeah.
That's a good comment right there. I mean, again, it's not the same NBA as it used to be. No. But anyway, the Lakers and the Denver Nuggets get underway. And Jay, I'm going to you first, man. When you talk about the Lakers, you talk about LeBron. When you talk about the Lakers, you talk about AD. And then you see what else is going down. I don't know how much time LeBron's got left, but that window right there is closing for the Lakers.
Right. It's year 21 for LeBron, right?
Yes.
All right. He's officially the oldest player in the league, with Andre Iguodala retiring, I believe.
Right.
The Lakers, they have a pretty decent team. Obviously you have AD. When he's healthy, he could be a top 5 player if, completely healthy. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura. I mean, the list goes on and on. D'Angelo Russell. I think, obviously, with the Lakers, it all depends on health. If one of those guys goes down for any stretch of time, it will pretty much be a disaster for them. They did make a pretty good recovery, following the trade deadline last season. And, they look pretty good in this game so far. But, like you said, it's an 82-game stretch. LeBron's not playing anywhere close to 82. AD's not playing close anywhere to 82. But when it comes down to the playoffs, I think they will make a deep run. Maybe the Western Conference Finals if all goes right. But, if they don't win this year, it's LeBron's not winning another ring. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Not so I don't. Not so I don't know if he's gonna win another. If he's gonna win another ring, period. But the additions of the likes of Gabe Vincent, Cam Reddish, Torian Prince to this experienced roster. Of course, it all depends on health. James has got to stay healthy. Anthony Davis entering his 12th NBA season. We know about his issues with health. So we know that no matter how well off-season moves play out for the Lakers all year long, it all goes through LeBron and AD. And without having these two guys healthy for the most part of the season, because the first question I ask when I go to the Lakers is not LeBron, it's how many games is AD going to miss? That's really one of the first things I ask myself is how many games is AD going to miss? Which means when he misses Nasser, LeBron's got to carry an even a heavier load. Do they have a good supporting cast? Do they make enough off-season moves to support this team for an NBA title run?
Personally, I was actually a big fan of the moves that Rob Pelinka made. Someone that has been scapegoated a lot the past couple of years, especially since the Russell Westbrook move. Obviously, we can all look back and talk about that move and how silly it was and the fit and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is that Rob Pelinka did a good job this offseason surrounding LeBron and AD with younger, bigger, fresher wings. Torian Prince, like we mentioned, a quality rotational guy. Jackson Hayes, we've seen that Anthony Davis has a lot more experience next to a big, i.e., Dwight Howard in the bubble. So, a guy like Jackson Hayes, who's kind of, teetered here and there, fluctuated up and down, especially in NOLA. I feel like him being a big young athlete next to AD, I think he's going to just get better. And Gabe Vincent, I like the intangibles he brought from Miami. Another ball handler, guy that can space the floor. I think not just particularly it's not really about like the surrounding core. I think specifically amongst the core, it's going to be up to Caruso, D'Angelo Russell, and Gabe Vincent as to how far the Los Angeles Lakers go. AD and LeBron have been AD and LeBron as far as numbers the past 3 years. We keep talking about, yes, they need to play, but the fact of the matter is that they're both just getting older and they're both getting more fragile. When that 2020 team, those guys were two complete different players physically in 2020. We got to stop comparing it to that. If Gabe Vincent, Alex Caruso, and D'Angelo Russell can be formidable guys that can at least help LeBron in running the offense in the non-LeBron minutes, helping Anthony Davis get easier buckets so he doesn't feel like he has to actually carry like heavy offensive burdens for long periods of time. Those guys can space the floor and just be consistent. If those three can just be consistent, the Lakers will make a deep playoff run. They didn't beat the Golden State Warriors for nothing. They were just a bigger, more physical defensive team, and they're great at the rim. They're a great defensive team at the rim. When they want to play big, they're a really hard team to beat. And I think that was the big thing that Rob Pelinka saw last year, and that was the reason why he made this team bigger, fresher, longer. And I can't wait to see. Shout out to Rui Hachimura too. This is his first training camp with the Lakers. It's rumored he spent the whole offseason with LeBron. I can't wait to see what he brings. So I have some expectations for the Lakers, yeah.
You know what, Jay? Nasser's like he finds everything right to say, everything good to say. He's really positive and doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's gonna turn around to the camera and say, "And that motherfucker lost his life." It just doesn't seem that way.
Don't rule it out.
I'm sure you do it in your private life, but what I'm getting at is that's the kind of breakdown we're talking about, because that explained it so well, Nasser with the Lakers, because again, you're bringing up numbers and things, so I know I'm not aware of, and the fact that when you're looking at their numbers, you're looking at the same numbers. Of course, they do have to stay healthy, but it's true, the roles that others are going to have to play around the Lakers. It's also true that, Louis, if they don't get themselves a title this year, I think LeBron could start thinking about that 1 year he wants to play with Bronny if he gets that chance. If he gets that chance.
If that's the big word there. If.
Of course, the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
The Joker, Murray, Gordon, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., Jaded. Oh, wait a minute. I got to go back to Mike. Mike Birdmonger said, the Lakers are the NBA's version of the Cowboys. The media hype around them is bigger and better than their talent. LeBron isn't going to win a ring. He's in it for the stats.
Ooh.
That's a woo. That's a low blow there, Mike. That's a low blow
right.
there, Mike. That's a low blow there, Mike. You
Yeah.
might be right, though. The Denver Nuggets come in as the defending NBA champion. They've got a 34-20 lead. A lot of expectations now from Denver. The first question when you think of the Denver Nuggets or any NBA champion is repeat. Can they repeat? If there's a team in recent memory that I feel looks and appears to be equipped to repeat, is the Denver Nuggets. I mean, this team, you think about Jamal Murray coming back from injury. He finally had that full season with the Joker, and with Gordon. Michael Porter Jr. was hurt. These guys are just now, I think they still got more molding, more meshing to do together. It's a possibility that they can win themselves, but we know how hard it is to win an NBA championship. But Jordan, if you're an NBA fan, you gotta like what you see in Denver.
Yeah, they did lose a couple people in the offseason. Bruce Brown was a big loss to the Pacers, and Jeff Green, I want to say Houston maybe. But there's still a really complete team. Jamal Murray's healthy. Joker's healthy, obviously. We can expect Michael Porter Jr. If he can stay healthy, that's really good. But I don't see another team in the West that's as complete as the Denver Nuggets. Obviously people talk about the Lakers, Warriors, Suns, some sleeper picks. I think Shaq picked Dallas, but none of these teams can really compete like Denver can. And I believe they are a strong contender to repeat this season.
I don't know what you think, Nasser.
To repeat, I think Denver would definitely be one of the best teams in the West. I expect them to make at least the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of Bruce Brown going into Indiana. Christian Braun, I think he was like the 7th or 8th man last year on that finals team. He's a promising young player. I mean, obviously he won a ring as a rookie. He's a promising young player. I think he can take that next step and fill that role that Bruce Brown played as that good guy, guy that can kind of play. He was kind of like a big four. He was kind of a forward in the guard's body, playing in forward spots. That guy's running around, just doing a lot of grit stuff, playing high-level defense, rebounding, and just kind of helping the team. I think he can play that role, but Bruce Brown is one of the best at that role in the NBA. What he did for the Nuggets last year was big time. It was the reason why Indiana gave him all that money. My only worry is just who is going to play that role. I mean, I know Jamal Murray, and who knows, I could be wrong. Maybe, the presence of Jamal Murray, it might not even matter because people also should realize that he came back in the middle of the year last year.
Right. That's right.
Where his legs are fresh, worked out, so he's all toned up. He's ready to go. It might matter, but I want to see how they fare in terms of the defensive department. But what does it matter if you have the best player in the league in Nikola Jokic? It might not even matter.
Yeah, that's so good. So good. So good. And it ends later on with two other. Well, that's why they're playing opening night. Interesting teams to talk about. I go to the Golden State Warriors first. Look, they've done their job. The Warriors have cemented their place in history as one of the greatest teams of their time.
Yes.
Arguably one of the greatest teams of all time. When you assemble that kind of talent, it's kind of hard not to win. They found a way to win. Hold on. Let me finish with Mike here. Mike said Denver has the right amount of outside shooting around Jokic. Enough athletic wings to play the switching defensive style that's popular. They're unselfish. They'll make the finals, but we'll lose to Boston. That's going to be that
thing.
Mike's pretty spot on. He's pretty spot on for sure.
I got to agree with
that. That was pretty good right there.
Can't just be Aaron Gordon. I need to see another defender though. Yeah. I want to see if Michael Porter can tap it a little bit on that other side of the end.
But in Golden State, let's not forget that Steph Curry still plays there. Klay Thompson still plays there. Oh, and Draymond Green still plays there too. So these are not three like, they're pretty good. No, they're a whole lot more than pretty damn good. So I'm going to go back to you, Nasser, on your thoughts on the Golden State Warriors.
I think Golden State, I think their offseason went, fairly under the radar. I know a lot of people gave them slack over, the Chris Paul move. I was one of them. It's not like I wasn't a fan of Chris Paul. I just wasn't a fan of how they used Jordan Poole as an asset. I feel like they could have gone more than just Chris Paul, just because. And I'm not an anti-Chris Paul guy, but I just feel like at this stage of his career, he is what he is. He is going to be a floor raiser. He's exactly what the Warriors needed for the second unit. They're going to be a really, really good offensive team. This is the first time Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are going to have a legit, commendable, high-level, all-star level floor general point guard running the offense, and both of them simultaneously will be able to space the floor. That has never been seen before. Yes, it's been seen with Jordan Poole, Andre Iguodala, but those guys don't have the playmaking capabilities like Chris Paul. This is Chris Paul talking about one of the best point guards ever. That's the biggest pro from getting Chris Paul. The con is the availability. He has doomed the Phoenix Suns' chances of, basically going back to the finals the past 2 years. I think he is what he is. I don't know if he's going to be able to be Father Time. He's a great plus regular season, but ultimately, I don't know what they're going to do down the stretch of the playoffs. I just think they're a little older. But I expect a big year out of Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, who's basically going to fill the same role that Andre Iguodala has made famous for. He's basically just another carbon version of him. The Warriors are going to be very good. I expect them to be a top 5, top 4 team in the West. My big question is, can they make it past they can make the conference finals, but can they reach the finals? Who's going to do it for them? I think it has to be someone more than just Curry.
Yeah.
Let me go real quick to Mike. Mike's back again. Mike says CP3 will add something special to the Warriors' second unit and it'll allow them not to have to total drop off when Curry's on the bench. Kuminga's going to have to be their new X factor. If he steps up, Golden State has another Western Conference final run in them. Good shit, Mike.
Mike was typing as I was speaking.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a great comment there because when Nasser said it for a moment I was like, yo, I'm CP3 and I got Klay on one wing and Steph on the other. It's like, right, it's like, wow. Yeah, because, it really hit me Nasser said never seen before. I come on now. I was like, no, he's right. Never seen before. What a deadly trio that would have made
Both of them.
together.
Very deadly. Yes.
In their prime, all three of those guys right there, CP3, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, in their prime playing together. Oh, Lord. CP3 had 29, 35, 42 assists, 1 point, 2 points, 1 point. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, Jay. I mean, it's Golden State. I still believe in Golden State.
Yeah, no, I mean they're a pretty good contender in the West. They got their big three. They got Chris Paul. They got Andrew Wiggins. I'm a little concerned though about Klay Thompson. In that second round series against the Lakers, he just wasn't there. And heading into this season, there's a lot of rumors about extension talks. I believe it was, I'm trying to remember, Bob Myers, former GM, was talking about it on ESPN. Really didn't seem good. I think the most recent report said that like extension talks are dead. I know last season there was a lot of drama, obviously, between Draymond and Jordan Poole. But is this something that's going to loom over the team all season? We've seen this happen before with other players where, they try to, put it to the side, but you can tell it's kind of really affecting them both on and off the court. Players like Kyrie Irving, for example, when he was in Boston. A lot of people think Klay's going to stay, but it seems like the money doesn't seem right. So I think that's going to be one major thing to look out for the Warriors and how that'll affect them as a whole.
That's going to be some crazy money, boy, when that contract comes up. Louis, before I get to your thoughts on Golden State, in Philadelphia, it is the top of the first inning. It is Game 7 of the National League Championship Series between the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Philadelphia Phillies, all tied at 3, and the Diamondbacks have jumped out to a 1-0 lead on the Phillies. The winner gets to call themselves National League champions, and they will represent the National League in the World Series against the Texas Rangers, who took care of the Houston Astros last night. Louis, Golden State. What are your thoughts on the Warriors?
Yeah, well, Warriors have done well in the past couple of years. I mean, they did slip a little bit this year. I mean, last year. West looks to be kind of tough this year. They have a lot of contenders. With Denver, with the rising of the Sacramento Kings, I do say. Lakers are trying to make a run this year, so it's gonna be kind of tough, especially how strong the conference is this year. But I'm thinking of the Warriors. Are gonna hang around and make a decent run, like maybe to the second round of the playoffs.
And last but not least, Nasser, the Phoenix Suns. I said I looked and I see Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. I was mentioning earlier in the show or before the show, whatever, that I didn't see the Beal move. You said that too. Who would have seen? Nobody saw this happening. Beal goes to the Suns. Seems to be such a good fit right there, because you look at Golden State with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and you think to yourself that they must be a player or two away from an NBA championship. Nasser, is Bradley Beal the answer?
Bradley Beal is I'll say a quarter to half the answer. He puts them as a scorer. His experience as a scorer and his ability to score at a very high level at all 3 levels. People forget this is a guy that's averaged 30 twice as a number one.
Yeah.
So Bradley Beal, he's going to get a lot more efficient and open looks just because of the gravity from Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And what makes the three of them fit so seamlessly is that all three of them have had experience as a primary ball shot creator or an off ball. Both Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant spent some time with Russell Westbrook. They know how it is to play off the ball with a dominant guy. Devin Booker was a progressed and evolved as a on-ball shot creator before CP3 arrived. When CP3 arrived, they had their run together, and he was playing off the ball. So all three of them having that experience in numerous roles on and off the ball, and at this particular in the vital points of their careers, being able to sacrifice, I think it's going to go ways. They're going to be one of the more prolific offenses in the league just because not only are all three of them deadly one-on-one, all three of them are amazing in the catch and shoot. All three of them are great in the mid-range. They all hit their free throws. It's not going to be that hard of an offense to generate if you're a Phoenix Sun. And on top of that, they're pretty underrated in terms of playmaking. I know Booker and Beal, they're both two guards. Kevin Durant is one of the best small forwards to ever play, but they are very unselfish, selfless players. They know how to read the floor. They've been guys that have been getting doubled, most of their careers. They've done the All-Star games, they've done the All-NBAs. I think offensively, they have it. The big question is who is going to step up in the front court to provide that interior presence, who is going to stop the prolific scorers on the perimeter. I think we need to see one of the big three, if not, two or three of them to step up on the defensive side. I think their competitive nature, we saw it from Booker and Durant. People aren't going to give them credit. They played very high-level defense last year. People aren't going to want to give them credit, but this was a team that took two away from Jokic. They did win games 3 and 4. Jokic was tied against Devin Booker and Kevin Durant at one point. So, I do like what Matt Ishba and what the GM has done. James Jones, sorry, I was going a little brain freeze. James Jones, what they did in free agency, getting the necessary role players, choosing Metu, Nurkic, doesn't really stay healthy, but a bigger screen guy who's more embracing of his role than clearly DeAndre Ayton was. I have high expectations for the Suns. The biggest question is going to be availability, and all three of those guys, as we see Bradley Beal, back alignment, it's day one. Not going to play tonight. Sad to say, but yeah, availability, and if they can get the enough stops on defense under Frank Vogel, they're going to be one of the toughest teams to beat in all of the league for sure.
Mike comes back to the Suns are the only team with enough talent to make a run at Denver. They'll be able to outscore a lot of teams, but they can play defense. Can they play defense? The trade where they got Nurkic was sneaky, underrated, but they'll need everything to be perfect at the right time to overcome Denver. Mike, you've been spot on tonight, man. You've been spot on tonight.
That Mike's hot.
Yeah, Mike's been spot on tonight. Yeah, can they play defense? They have to play enough defense. I mean, Jay, Durant, Booker, Beal.
Yeah.
I mean, on certain nights, that's 90. That's 90 points right off the top.
Guardable. 70 points.
Right.
Right. It kind of reminds me of the big three in Brooklyn when you had Harden, Kyrie, and obviously KD. They could outscore you with no problem, but the defense is obviously the main worry here. Like Nasser said, if, Booker, Durant, Beal, if they could just step up just a little bit on defense, I think there will be a massive improvement. Nurk, he's a pretty solid defender, obviously the injuries have kind of held him out here and there, but they do have a solid team overall. And like Mike said, they're probably one of the only few teams that can make a legitimate run at Denver. So, but at the same time, they may not care about the regular season, because they know as soon as the playoffs start, it could be a run to the conference finals for all we know. Yeah, we're starting to see that with a lot of teams, like the Miami Heat, for example. Don't worry about the regular season. Just get to the playoffs and go from there.
Right.
Louis, you like Phoenix?
I got nothing against Phoenix, but I think Phoenix is going to be in trouble this year. I don't see them coming too good this year.
I don't hate. They have a lot of looming questions. I gotta play defense and can they start to stay healthy?
Yeah.
Booker, Beal, and Durant. They're like three of like the small group of stars that have had trouble playing like 65 games over.
Right.
Durant hasn't played over 60 games since like 2019. Beal hasn't played over 60 in about 2 years. Booker just missed like 20 plus games last year with a quad injury. And who's to say if Booker didn't get hurt, would they still trade Mikal Bridges and Cameron Johnson? Would Monty Williams get fired? Does KD end up in Phoenix now? There's a lot of looming questions. I feel like that stretch last year where Booker was really hurt and Phoenix struggled with CP3 and Mikal and all them, that it was a very underlying story, and it kind of shifted the landscape of the NBA right now.
Again, Louis, when I asked you about Phoenix, Louis, I didn't know what to do at first. It looked like it looked like it gave you gas. I wasn't sure. I was like,
yeah, Phoenix. I'm a little shaky about.
Yeah, you're a little shaky on them. Okay.
Yeah, especially how they've been in the playoffs the last couple of years. Ugh.
All right. Well, gentlemen, we've reached that point of the show where I turn around and ask you, gentlemen, starting with Mr. Lewis Tenor. Louis, what are your final thoughts? By the way, I hate the Yankees, Louis.
Yeah, I know that, but still, yeah. I mean, even the East looks strong this year. You know, it's going to be a tough conference this year. Of course, with according to all the experts saying the Celtics are going to take it, but I'm still holding out for hope with for our team, like the Knicks. Washington might do well this year too, so hopefully that. Yeah, I know you're thinking, Rob, not a chance, right? Well, we'll just see.
I hope I hold out. Louis is making the playoffs. Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, but I my final thought is the Knicks. Obviously, I'll get to that in a second. Nasser, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Hey, Amin Thompson of the Houston Rockets, Asar Thompson of the Detroit Pistons. Look out for them. They are both going to be all rookie first team guys this year. Those boys are from the overtime elite landscape. Everyone remember the name Amin Thompson, Asar Thompson, twins, rookie years. I got a piece coming out very soon on the Detroit Pistons. I just wrote one on the Houston Rockets about a month ago. They're both, each of them are, respectively in there covering. Just very excited about those two. Big guards, a lot of Penny Hardaway in them, long, lanky guards, athletic. They defend, aggressive, tenacious. The Pistons and the Rockets, they're going to be good places in a couple of years. And so everyone look out for those two names.
And before any of you out there ask, what the hell does Nasser Karaga know about Penny Hardaway? Trust me, he knows about Penny Hardaway.
Exactly.
That's all you need to know is that he knows about Penny Hardaway. Trust that. Jay, final thoughts.
Yeah, so my final thoughts, a lot of teams need to figure shit out this year. I'm going to be real with you. My Bulls, for example, either blow it up or go into the luxury tax. The Sixers, just trade James Harden already. Tired of seeing this news every other day. Nothing's changing. Just get rid of him. He clearly doesn't want to play there.
Yeah.
I think at this point, a lot of teams are just hesitant to take a step back, and a lot of them need to. But I do have one question for you, Ralph.
Yeah.
There is a rumor that I saw earlier today saying that the Knicks could offer a package. I believe it was 3 first-round picks, and then I believe R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Evan Fournier, a lot of these names are mentioned, in a package for Joel Embiid if he were to become available. How do you feel about that?
Really?
Hold up, dude. The way you started listing,
I wouldn't doubt
it. The way you started listing all them assets, I thought we were gonna get prime Jordan. Hold on. I've heard and that's part of my final thought, is that I've heard the rumors going around supposedly Embiid wants to play in New York, that he hasn't made it a secret, even though I guess I missed the part where he didn't make it.
Yeah.
that he'd like to play for the Knicks. Would I like Joel Embiid in New York? Do you like the sun coming up every day? And
Yes.
you know what I mean? Do you like water going down your throat? Right now, I don't even have any in this damn thing. Hell yeah, I would.
Of course.
It's the whole that it's gonna take. How many years? What are you giving up for the years that you're getting back on Embiid? What are you losing? That's
Right.
a lot. That's a lot right there. I mean, that's a lot right there. A lot of draft picks. You said R.J. Barrett. Who else? Fuck him.
I think Julius Randle, Evan Fournier, a lot of role players.
Crazy.
It sounds like they're giving up the damn team, not so just for Embiid.
Yeah.
Philly fans won't be happy about that. I know that. You know how Philly fans get.
No.
I'm kidding.
Not gonna happen. But I mean, I feel bad for Embiid. Embiid is on a short list of superstars that I'm just waiting for. I'm waiting for an iconic playoff moment, and I know it's not all the way his fault. But how many times are we gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, Embiid, the time's ticking on Embiid, not just in Philly, but
exactly. When are you gonna have that one shining moment?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for joining us this evening. This is the NGSC Sports Weekly NBA podcast. I'm your host, Ralph Garcia, of course, joined by Jordan Ria, Nasser Kiraga, and Louis Tenor. Mike Bird Munger leads us by telling us, as a Celtics fan, I really hope the Knicks and 76ers make that trade.
Yeah.
Both teams well behind us for years.
Tell him,
Mikey!
I'll put you this way.
You got that, Mikey? That's a good one, though.
Yeah.
Remember the website? It is NGSCSports.com, where you catch all of your current content. We'll get with you guys, I'll get with the guys about when we'll be back to talk some more NBA basketball. I'll be back tomorrow night for Everything Titans. It is the NGSC Sports Weekly Tennessee Titans football podcast. And I'll be back on Thursday. Busy week for me. I'll be back on Thursday with the political show. Attack on the Politicos. A lot going on. Thank you for joining us this evening, everybody. Remember again the website, NGSCSports.com, where we never